hardest part I've seen in my fight, and I'm the chief of the tribe, is when you come up against people of color as well as European descent, and you say Indians, they're looking for the Bill Cody long-range Tonto style thing. And when you actually show them that the indigenous people were actually my color, as I have a habit of telling people, a cocoa brown, or a brown piece of leather well put together. I have a lot of ways of using slangs to tell people that we are still here because we were not weak. We were here before DeSoto and Christopher Columbus. You have to be strong to make it through those disasters. During Katrina, I told them Katrina was not a Category 5. My people had came through some Category 5s, and we survived them. So Katrina, to me, was going to be an easy thing to survive. Because when you're been hit by a category named DeSoto, Category 5, and it lingers around for 400 to 500 years, steady beating on the shore, and it just won't move, that's a disaster. Not a disaster that just come and go, but a disaster that's still lingering. Then when you have a person like George Washington, that was a Category 5. He hit, and we're still lingering because he's still on shore. Okay, so that's two categories sitting on shore at the same time. I have Christopher Columbus, Category 5, still sitting on shore, beating up on us. Okay, so then I have Andrew Jackson. Can that be a Category 10?
Yeah.
Okay, because if I could rank him, he's a 10. He's still beating on us.
Yes.
None of these European storms have moved. At least Katrina hit ashore, did the damage, and moved on.
Yeah.
These categories continue to beat today. I wish it was drum beats, but it's not. It's not something you can dance to. It's something that you have to duck and dodge and constantly try to stay out of the way of the debris that it blows. Is that a good way to describe it?
Excellent.
Some of the debris that these categories have blew up on us, yes, you can help. But the first thing you have to go through being classified as crazy, because the United States have fixed it in the United States where whatever is not by their rule is crazy. So we have to take those abuse. That's part of some of the debris that's below the shore and still hitting around. A lot of the universities don't know about us because when they did write the truth about us, it was covered in the basement. So it's still down in the basement, okay? A lot of the truth was in the St. Louis Cathedral. Where did they put the records? A lot of the truth was in the Cabildo. Where is it? A lot of the truth is inside the tombs of the graves that's at St. Louis Cathedral, because they have a lot of Indians buried in there too. The bricks that built St. Louis Cathedral, my people made those bricks. The bricks that built the tomb in the older graves came from my people. Those categories was not only able to blow debris, but it was also able to cover things up. Like Katrina blew a lot of rubbish that covered up things. Some of the sludge of this storm that I have to deal with is, am I this color as an Indian because of African descent? Or am I this color because this is the color of my ancestors? Well, the truth to that lies with the anthropologists, if they tell the truth. Because as they dig into the grounds, they have found people and they know they look like I look. But do they want to be politically correct as a white man to stay in standing with his white man? Or do he want to just let the truth lie in the basement? Because the white man duplicated every last name he gave to us after being forced to take a family name. He duplicated those same names. So now, then you could easily say, well, it's not the black Greens, it's the white Greens. It's not the black Dupree, it's the white Dupree. But I was always told the proof is in the pudding. So in my family, we didn't tell the white folks all our business. So when they stole our identity, mispronounced it as Choctaw, they would come back into Lacombe, see our ways of living, and then they would mimic this back in Oklahoma. We have to ask, as historians, who signed the Dancing Rabbit Treaty and some of the other treaties? Research their name and see if the people that's in Oklahoma, I'm finna get real controversy. Let's see if there's really Native Americans that your tax money is paying for today, no matter what color you are. I said, if the government want to really know who been ripping them off, check out and see who's inside that pudding. Because what's in the pudding sure ain't chocolate. It's all vanilla. When I say Indians, I'm not talking about Oklahoma. I'm not talking about a lot of these tribes, and I'm going to be honest with you, here in Louisiana. Those are tribes put together underneath Andrew Jackson and underneath the Indian rights law. I'm talking about indigenous Indians who picked up the name Indian as a tag by Europeans.
Just like nigger.
Thank you.
That's right.
And by giving us that tag, you stole our real identity. The other thing I'm fighting for is that we as a nation have a place of governing that is represented and recognized by the United States government. They say, well, that's federal recognition. I say, no, that's not. That is a God-given right. Okay, a God-given right. Because even the people that's in churches of whatever race, they keep singing about them 12 tribes of Israel. Or they keep singing about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Well, everybody didn't come from Jacob.
That's right.
And if they did, that means everybody ought to be black. Because Jacob was marrying within his tribe. People that looked like him. He married his uncle's children. Okay? So, when we sit here, we won't even tell the truth about what Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob looked like. So, then I have to go to mine, like I told this caller that come from you. How far back you think they've been stealing our color and race?
Thank you.
And do you think they're going to give the real people back their race? No. That's something we have to stand up. We have been allowing, like I was telling you before the show started, we have allowed people to make us accept things. When the Europeans have come here, whatever they don't like, they write a law. And they stick together and they push it through.
That's right.
It's time we, you know, don't get mad at me because I had a gentleman call me one time. He says, well, how can you be a chief? One of Roger callers. How can you be a chief and be a woman? I said, how did you get here without a woman? Took a woman to bring you in this world. And you show me another way a woman didn't lead a man in here when she led you into life.
That's right.
Okay? So next thing, I challenge my men of color to give us the respect that God gave us right to. He made us the one to bring about you. That doesn't make us disrespect you. That doesn't make us behind you. God put us in front. He put us here to bring you forth. Now, as a woman, do I respect my men? Yes, they're the strength of our country. But the United States found a way to break them down too.
First thing I want to say that we all are one people.
Correct.
Now we might be subdivided into different names under Australians, Libyans, Puerto Ricans, Haitians, whatever. We all still one people.
That's right.
If we say that we are Chahta and we are Native Americans and we've been here on this land, that's who we are. Now I can give you a brief history on how the West Africans came over on the boat to South America and set up civilization. And it's been documented that the stone heads are still down in La Venta, down in South America. Those, they call them Olmecs. The Olmecs mixed with some of the Chinese invaders that were coming in through the Bering Strait. And we mixed together and we made what is called the so-called Native American now, which is the red man.
That's right. That's
going around perpetrating on our property. Now, what you had done is we gave them parts of the land to civilize. I mean, not civilized, but
inhabit.
And we mixed in with those people. But you had the Europeans that came in and took it away from all of us through trickery, through
disease,
different laws that that we could not live up to on their monetary system, through the forms of unjust taxes.
So what you're doing is you're actually giving us a history of integration and how integration has always been detrimental to the black man, be he called indigenous to this continent or any continent.
Let's look at the census that's coming out. First, my people were under Indian. Then someone come along and say, well, we're going to take him, we're going to move him again. We're going to make him mulatto. So some of my people got trapped back there under Indian, while some moved into the mulatto era. Then when the white man seen that that wasn't going to eliminate enough of us, then he moved us from mulatto. Then he moved us to colored. I can show you how I got where I'm at. So then my people, some of them got left into the colored zone. Then they moved my people again into Negro, black, and African American. All I'm asking, my blood kin, I'm not asking you to change who you are. I'm looking for a Pacific people that's lost here in New Orleans that have the same blood lineage that the two of us have, that got lost through the census. Like this time the census, last census we were Native American. This census we are going to be American Indian. You with what I'm saying? In each era we lose people.
We allowed the white man to come in and just assume our identities. They came into Egypt and they assumed the identities of the Egyptians. They came down into Puerto Rico and assumed the Puerto Ricans' identity. Now they come in and they're assuming the Native Americans' identity. They're setting up tribes. They're getting government money. They're the thieves.
Oh yeah, no.
They're the biggest thieves that's going around.
Can I say something?
Yes, come right here.
Right now, to the brother that called in earlier, there are land papers before slavery in my people's name here. How was it? Because when the Europeans came here, what Roderick is talking about, we gave a lot of people some spots to settle. But they took those spots and wanted bigger spots. My people right now, the Chahta, they took on the end from our people, I'm talking about the end of the big take, 25 million acres of land by removing my people from here to Oklahoma. That was the last of their land, 25 million acres of land. And it was people that looked like me. What Andrew Jackson did was he appointed some Europeans. I want you to know how I'm here, brother. My grandfathers were generational of chiefs. I come from a line of chiefs. I'm from a royal family of chiefs. What the Europeans did was took my people, took the women and the children, and some European that Andrew Jackson was friends with, appointed them as chiefs, left the original chiefs back here, took the white chief that he appointed, which into Oklahoma is, as you know today, as Indian Territory. Indian Territory was set up by mixed breeds, okay?
Yeah.
The people that signed the treaty was either non-native or mixed breeds.
That's right.
The full breeds was left back here. And after a while, they filtrated us into what we know as African American today. I'm not saying we're not family from back in time. I'm saying I was just here. Some come by slave ship. I came here years before by entrepreneurship. Either way it go, brother, we in here on the same ship. And this is what I'm challenging my brothers and sisters to do. Let's see what ship we in now. And what can we do to stop up and plug up some of these holes before we sink even deeper.